Pumpkinhead is about a father who loses his son. The father wants to get revenge. He goes to an old lady who is actually a witch because she's the only one that can resurrect Pumpkinhead, and Pumpkinhead can actually get revenge for you, so you don't actually have to get your hands dirty. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? And as you can see, I am doing the Pumpkinhead franchise, and it's all because of you guys. Now, if you're watching this video and you didn't know about this, about a week ago, I actually on my community tab put out, there are two franchises I would like to start off with in the year of 2025. It was this one, Pumpkinhead, who won, and it was Critters, and Pumpkinhead blew Critters out of the water. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to review Critters for the people who voted for that one. It's just probably going to be about a month, maybe 5 weeks away, so please be very patient. But for the people who have voted for Pumpkinhead, it is actually here right now, the first one, and I just want to say thank you guys so much. This is definitely something I'm going to try to do more of. I mean, if there's a franchise I really want to get into, or there's a reason that I want to actually do it without waiting for you guys to vote for it, I will actually do that. But hopefully, for the most part, I will be throwing out more likely 2, maybe once in a while 3 different franchises, just so I can already get myself a little bit of ahead of where I'm actually going to be going with my movie review. Let's get going on Pumpkinhead. And starting off with the likes, let's go with some characters. I want to start off with the character Ed Hurley, played by Lance Henderson. And boy, does he actually do a great job. He's the main character of this movie, so he actually has to carry this movie on his shoulders, and he does such a great job. I mean, he's wonderful, he's fantastic. I mean, I just love every scene that we actually get with this particular character. When it comes to the emotions, I mean, he has all these different emotions that he does equally well, where he actually is very, very happy at the beginning of the movie. He could be sad, he could be pissed off, he could be angry. When it comes to him needing to be on the revenge side, that I really do like how he has to do that. There's even a very quick scene where he actually gives someone the death stare, and even though I'm just an audience member, I thought I was going to shit my pants because I thought he was coming after me and not just the character that he was actually giving that death stare to, and he does a great job. When it comes to his son, Billy, like I said, he's not in it that much. He has got to be one of the sweetest and cutest young kids in the 80s. For the small part he had, I was just like, oh man, I wish he was actually in the movie a little bit more. Then we actually have the redneck family. They're farmers, and it's mostly the grandfather, who I've recognized, but I always forget his name. And he has about 5 or 6 grandkids, mixture of boys and girls. And I would say for the most part, they all do a good job. You got the witch that Ed Hurley has to go to because she's the only one that could resurrect Pumpkinhead. She does such a fantastic job. She may even have the best dialogue. I think a lot of them, actually, their dialogue is really good and the lines are delivered really well, but it's something about this witch for the scenes that we get with her that, you know, I'm just like focused on what she's saying, because you need to know what's going on with Pumpkinhead and if you really want to do this. And she's not just some kind of villain. I guess in a way she can be, but at least she's not one of these, oh, well, I'll try to help you out and then try to take away your soul later. She really is trying to be as honest as possible with Ed Hurley, and I do like that there about these are going to be the consequences if you really want to summon Pumpkinhead here. And of course, Hurley in his vengeful state there, like, yes, I will do what I need to do. And I just thought she was really just so fantastic. I mean, just like the son Billy, I wish that maybe she was in it a little bit more, but I kind of get it that she's just there to get Pumpkinhead. And then here we go with Pumpkinhead getting that revenge for Ed and all the kills that we're actually going to get. So when it comes to Pumpkinhead himself, I really like the design of the Pumpkinhead. And of course, I mean, for people who may have never heard of this movie before, or maybe have heard of it but never saw it, it is not Pumpkinhead is not, he does not have a pumpkin for a head. It's because he actually, whenever he died, he's actually buried in a pumpkin patch, and that's how he actually kind of got his name. I guess it's better than calling him, like, what, Pumpkin Bog funny. Pumpkinhead actually sounds a lot more better, rolls off the tongue a little bit better. I like the design. There's times where Pumpkinhead himself is actually kind of a smart character. Without going into too much details for an older movie, there's a scene with him and a motorcycle and of course a human being. I thought that actually was really good. This movie does take itself a little too seriously, but I will say that there were times it just felt like that it was actually funny where it wasn't supposed to be. But I'm more of the cheesiness of horror movies than more of the serious ones to a point. And this one could have been a little bit more on the cheesy side, but it actually still worked for me. I really actually did enjoy the story of this here. I thought this was definitely a different kind of monster, where Pumpkinhead doesn't just go and kill people. He's not just some serial killer. You have to summon him, and it's almost like he's sort of like an assassin or a hitman for hire. I thought that was actually kind of very interesting on what they do for him. That's why I like the story. It's a lot different than other monsters that you actually get in horror, and I thought that was actually very, very cool for what we get there. When it comes to the script, as I mentioned about the witch and other people, I love the dialogue. I love the narration. And going back some more stuff with Pumpkinhead is I like that connection that you actually get. I thought it was very unique. When you summon Pumpkinhead, it's not that you just summon him and just let him out in the world and he takes out who he needs to take out kind of thing. You do get kind of that connection with that person who summons him. And of course, in this movie, Ed Hurley. And I thought that was really cool of what they did there. Then the final is actually, when it comes to Pumpkinhead, the way that he actually gets defeated, again, very interesting, very unique, because it looked like that Pumpkinhead is one of these characters that he goes and does what he needs to do, and then he just goes back to his own personal hell until he gets summoned again, thinking, okay, so you really can't beat him. You have to wait for, everything to go through, and then all of a sudden Pumpkinhead is just gone, and I'm assuming that the curse is actually kind of gone there too. But the way that he actually has to get defeated, I'm like, okay, again, something different than maybe what you've seen in previous movies. And moving on to the dislikes, let's start off with the big thing that really bothers me, and that's the group of friends that we actually get. I mean, they just piss me off. And some of the reasons is that they have no personality, they have no chemistry with each other. I mean, it's a mixture of friends, siblings, and relationships, and there's not one single person to latch onto, to root for on here other than Ed Hurley. How I'm rooting for Pumpkinhead to take these characters out here. They're annoying, they're boring, there's just nothing great about them. And of course, they're in it a decent amount of this movie here, and I'm like, okay, every time that they move away from, if it's Ed Hurley, the witch, whoever, and they move on to them, I'm always rolling my eyes, I'm huffing and puffing, and I'm just like, there is just nothing really good about this particular group of people. And that's where I have to go on with my next thing is, I think that this movie could have been directed so much better. And it was directed because we actually had a lot of good actors that knew what they were doing. But this director did not know how to direct these group of friends very well. Now, I don't know if there was any drama behind the scenes, which I'm sure every movie set does, or, maybe the producers breathing down their neck and hurry up, we got to get this movie out if it was ever rushed in any way, and this is the piece of crap we get with these actors and all this here. And they seem like they could be great, actors probably in other movies, I'm sure, but when it came to this movie, I did not care. So I didn't care. If the director doesn't care about all of his characters that he's trying to bring onto the screen, I'm not going to give one shit myself about some of these characters. Some of them I do, of course, but these particular friends, I do not care one bit here. And when it comes to the kills, they were very weak in this. I thought the kills could have been so much better for the most part. And then the final thing is actually the gore. I wish there was a lot more gore than what we actually get. Pumpkinhead, I'm going to go 2.5 out of 4 stars. Have you seen this movie? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. Thank you guys so much for watching this movie review here, and I will be continuing my Pumpkinhead franchise hopefully next week. See you guys then. Bye.